Hey everybody! Today's lesson is on finding the factors of a number. Please write that down as the heading of the next open page in your math notebook. Go ahead and pause this. After you've written down your title, mark your page with your pencil and close your math notebook to think with me. Okay, so let me remind you of some multiplication vocabulary that you have learned in the past. When you got a multiplication problem, like something times something equals something, or like 3 times 5 equals 15. These somethings, the two things you multiply, these are called the factors in the problem, and this is called the product in the problem. That's some multiplication vocabulary, factors and product. So we're finding the factors of a number today. That was our title. And so what we're going to do is things like this, where I would give you, say, 15, and you're going to find the things that can be multiplied to get it. All right. So we're looking for these factors of this number today, or of any number. All right. So I'm going to do two I-dos today. So let's start with like a fairly small one. 16 is not too big of a number. I want to show you, so when I say I'm going to find the factors of 16, I'm looking for anything I can multiply to get 16. So probably you can start thinking of some yourself already, like 8 times 2 is going to be 16, which means 8 and 2 are factors. 4 times 4 is 16, which means 4. And I don't need to write 4 again. 4 is going to be a factor of 16. So I'm looking for things like that, things that I can put into these blanks and get 16. So a couple strategies you can use here. One is you can make 16 of, I'll just use a pen, 16 of kind of a thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And you can kind of go back to 3rd grade and try to build an array where you can fit these things in a rectangle. Like I know I can build an array of these that is, 8 by 8. Oh, well, let me start with this one. Actually, before I do all that, I already have an array, how I built this before. I have an array that is 16 columns long by 1 column deep. So I can see here that 1 times 16, those are 2 factors. And now let me go back to where I was kind of trying to, if I go a row, I can go, oh, that was helpful. No, not quite. So if I try to build these into a rectangle with 2 rows, I think I can. Kind of moving funny on me. So I can build a rectangle that is 2 by 8, which means I know that 2 and 8 are factors of 16. If I try to build my array 3 rows deep, I think I can't do it. Yeah, I can't, there's no way for me to make an array. I can't quite, there's going to be one left over here. So I can't make a 3 rectangle. So 3 is not a factor, so I'm not going to write it there. I think I can do it with 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So there's a 4 by 4 rectangle. And that's going to be the last one I can make. That's an array strategy. And so I found the factors one way here. 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4. Those are called factor pairs. And each individual 1 is a factor. 1 is a factor, 16 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 8 is a factor, and 4 is a factor. I don't need to write 4 twice. Okay, that's one strategy. It takes a little while to do that whole rectangle business, but it works. Here's another one. So what I like to do sometimes if I'm trying to find the factors of 16, or of any number, I always know that 1 times that number are going to be 2 of the factors. That's kind of an automatic. I can always do 16 times 1. So there's always going to be those 2 factors. And what I'm going to kind of do is I'm going to pair them up like this with a rainbow. And then I'm going to work my way from 1 towards 16 and see if I can just come up with any others. So if I do 2, think in my head, can I do 2 times anything and get 16? And I can. I can do 2 times 8. So 8 would be about halfway to 16. So I'm going to kind of write 8 right there. 2 times 8 is 16. 3, can I do 3 times anything and get 16? 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18, so I cannot. So I'm just going to get rid of that. I can also do 4 times itself to get 16, so it's going to kind of do one of those. How about 5? 5 times, no. 6, how about 6? 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, no 6. How about 7? 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, no 7. And once I start doing it, once I get to a number I've already used, I know I'm done. I've done them all. I'm not going to be able to do 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 either. I started at 1, I got 2, I got 4, and when I got over to this 8 that came from the 2, I know I'm done. So now, same as up here, I found that the factors are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. So when you're all done with a factors problem, you want to write it in a sentence like that. You want to say the factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. And that's it. That's how you find them. 2 strategies. I'm going to do another I do, because I want to show you, once the numbers get bigger, what if I asked you to find all the factors of 90? Once the numbers get bigger, an array is just not really feasible. It would take a really, really long time to use an array with 90 dots and try every possible combination. So I'm just going to skip the array. Sorry, I went back too far. So I'm going to skip the array on this one altogether and just use my pairing strategy. So some tricks in this one. When we get to 90, you can think of some factors of 90. You probably know 10 times 9 is 90. And you know 1 times 90 is 90. What's going to be tricky with a bigger number is there's some numbers in here that are going to be factors that you don't have the fact memorized. They just get too large for you to memorize. So I'm going to start like I did last time with 1 times 90. It's my first pair. And I'm going to think through, start and work up until I use that trick again where I get to something I've already used. So I'm going to use 2. 2, now I don't know 2 times anything that's 90. I don't have that fact memorized, but it can be done. Because if I do the opposite operation and do 90 divided by 2, I can tell that's going to work because 90 is an even number, which means I can divide it by 2. So I'm going to do, let's see, how about 2 times 40? 2 times 4 is 8, so 2 times 40 is 80. It leaves me with 10, and then 2 times 5. So actually, I would have never thought of this probably if I didn't try it, but 2 times 45 is 90, so I'm going to do 2 times 45 is halfway to 90. So I'm going to kind of put it about halfway in between. How about 3? I don't have any memorized 3 facts, but again, don't assume necessarily that it can't be done. So I'm going to do, let's check 90 divided by 3, and I can actually do that in one step. 3 times 3 is 9. So 3 times 30 would be 90. So I'm going to put in 3 and 30. All right, how about 4? Can I divide 90 by 4? Let's check. How about 4 times 20 is 80. 4 times 2 is 8, and I can't do that. I'm going to get a remainder, so I can't do 4 times anything and get 90, so that's out. 5, I know I'm going to be able to do 5, right? Because 5, anything that ends with 0 or 5 can be done that way. So let me try 5. Let's do 90 divided by 5. The highest one I know is probably 5 times 12, 60. And then 5 times 6 is 30. So it looks like 5, oops, that's supposed to go there. 5 times 18 is a pair. How about 6? So what I want you to see here is that even though these are factors I probably didn't memorize, like I did not know 5 times 18 memorized. I had to check and see if 5 was a factor. It's not only the factors you've memorized, it's also the factors that are possible. So how about 6? I think 6 is 1, actually. Let's see, though. I can't remember. 6 times 10 is 60. Leaves 30. 6 times 5 is 30. So 6 times 15 works. I'll just tell you, instead of keeping dividing, I'd want you to check 7. And it's not. I'd want you to check 8. And it's not. Kind of running out of room here. 9 would work. So I'm going to fit in like a little 9 times 10. And now, so I tried 1, I tried 2, I tried 3, I tried 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now I don't need to try 10 because, like I said, once you get to a factor, to a number that you've already used on this side of this rainbow, you're done. So I've already know I've gotten to 10. So once I get to that, I don't need to try anything higher than 10 because I've already got them all. And so I'm done. So again, when you're done with a factors problem, you want to say the factors of 90 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 15, 18, 30, 45, and 90. That's how you do it. All right, let's do one together. Actually, we're going to do 2 together, but I'm going to have to pause and do them because I'm almost at the end of my recording time. So here's what I want you to do. I want to start with this. I want you to find the factors of 12 first. I'm going to pause and then just do it. So I want you to pause now. Find the factors of 12 using an array and using that rainbow strategy. And then unpause and check. I'm going to pause and then it's just going to happen, boom, all at once. All right, so check what you did. I was able to build 3 different arrays with 12 dots, a 12 by 1 array, a 6 by 2 array, and a 3 by 4 array. I couldn't do it with 5, and then when I tried to do it with 6, I'm back to this one. So kind of that strategy where once you get to a number you've already used, you're done. Same with my pairs, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. I tried 5 and it didn't work. And then I got to 6 and I'd already used 6, so I'm done. So the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now the second I want to do is a bigger number. So on this one, don't worry about an array. Array is going to be too hard. When the numbers get big, arrays are just not helpful. Whoops. So we're going to skip array. But I do want to do it with the pairs. So again, I'm going to pause and I'm going to do it. So I want you to pause and I want you to find them. And when you unpause, you can check. This one's going to have some sneaky ones. There are some 48 facts that you know, but there are also some 48 facts that you don't. So make sure you try numbers in between, even if you don't know them as a factor of 48. All right. Pause, give it a shot, and then when I unpause, I'll have it up there for you. All right, here they are. Check your list and make sure you found some. The ones that you're likely to miss, 6 times 8 you probably have memorized. 4 times 12 you probably have memorized. This one is kind of a sneaky one, as is maybe this one. 3 times 16 is 24, and 2 times 20 is 48, and 2 times 24 is 48. So check your division on those. The key to this is you have to remember to check numbers you may not have memorized. That's factors. We'll practice some more tomorrow. See you then.